Hi, it's Mr. Producer, and if you are listening in real time, that is to say Monday, December 2nd, Cyber Monday of 2024, well, our biggest sale of the year is going to wrap up tonight at midnight. Use the code SAVE30 to save 30% site-wide on all courses, documents, and resources at LawEntrepreneurAcademy.com. Plus, yes, you can still get $400 off the whole ball of wax, our ultimate bundle for those going all in with their businesses. Hurry, though. Sale ends at midnight. Thanks for supporting Brian and the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast, and I'll place the link along with those special codes in the show description. Ever wonder how to get the best-looking lawn on the block? You know, the kind where all the neighbors drive by slowly and stare at your well-manicured masterpiece thinking you must be a turf wizard? Yeah, we thought so. At Earthway Products, we have your back with all the right lawn and garden tools that allow you to dominate and win the prize of best-looking lawn on the block. We have all types of spreaders that are professional grade, built for accuracy, efficiency, and toughness. Simply said, Earthway products are engineered to last, and we have over 50 patents to prove it. That's our way of saying you can have confidence that our products will get the job done and make your life easier. We also have a fertilizer program that will help you grow a lawn greenskeepers will envy. So whether you're a homeowner, lawn care operator, facilities manager, business owner, or golf course superintendent, Earthway is here to help you make a perfect first impression. Stop by earthway.com and experience the difference. That's earthway.com. Proudly American made in America's heartland, Bristol, Indiana.
You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton, here hanging with you guys, and a good morning. Well, super excited about bringing some snow conversations to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is due. We are all systems go, ready to rock and roll for snow, ready to make that white gold. Today, joining us all the way from beautiful Fargo, North Dakota, we've got returning guest, Jeremy Lindstrom over there at Glacier Snow. Jeremy, the operations manager over there, kicking butt, taking names. How are we doing this morning, brother?
Doing great. We just got done with a nice little push this last night. We had a little dusting come through, about, 3/4 inch. We got a full push out of her, so
okay.
Kind of putting everything put away.
Love it, bro. Love it. And for anybody who doesn't know, give a little bit of background on yourself, if you don't mind. Some people are new listeners. Some people have been with us since the beginning, but we did a shop tour maybe 2 or 3 years ago now, winter, whatever it would be. And man, my world was just turned upside down, exploded with opportunity and possibility out there. But tell them a little bit about your
North Dakota.
Yeah, Fargo. Yeah, tell them. Yeah, go ahead.
I just run the operations here at Glacier. I run all the crews and get everything going. Been in snow business for probably 23 years. I think I've been in the snow business. So
no kid.
Quite a while. So
wow.
I've probably seen quite a bit of it. What can happen and all the good storms and bad storms. It's been a ride. I don't know what else I do, honestly. No industries it gets in your blood, and it's just a fun time, honestly.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Well, and the whole reason I want to get you on today is talking about the evolution of equipment, talking about maybe some next step for some of these guys listening in that are in the middle, maybe 500,000 million, kind of a level business going to, 1 to 5 million pretty fast. And a lot of the guys see a lot of opportunity in snow, go figure. So I wanted to maybe talk about equipment, maybe operations, weather, just, what are the pros using out there? You guys have a great outfit, like you said, in Fargo. If anybody has not checked out that shop tour series, still pulling in views, still pulling in comments. Folks are always like, man, Glacier Snow, like those guys have it going on. And I'm like, yeah, dude, for sure. So one of my favorites as well. How many loaders and sectionals do you guys have over there? If you don't mind me asking, do you remember offhand?
Well, yeah, in house we're 39 loaders in house, and then we got I think we have about 80 almost 90 sectionals are up to now. I believe it is
90.
Because we give our subcontractors we kind of rent plows for them, so they don't have to buy plows.
Oh, sure.
We'll rent, so then they don't, kind of helps them out, and we just kind of take a little bit off their hourly rate to use our plow. So
sure.
yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. So Brian's All Maintenance and Glacier, like together we're a team. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right, there you go. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. We're gonna get there one day, dude. I told Jeremy before I hit record. I'm saying we're going to the moon. I need to pick your brain on everything. But well, let's do this really quick. I want to jump into a couple things. First things first, talking about the growth of a lot of guys' businesses right now. A lot of guys are using skids. They're starting to get pushers. A lot of guys are contemplating loaders, myself included. To be honest with you, we've got some great route density that's happening, and we're in a lot of these commercial tech drives, and I'm looking to get some route density even with some of the work that we're taking on. If you don't mind me asking, like, what's the next step for some of these guys that are out there? Maybe going from just plow trucks, with a V plow or a straight blade out front or a wide out, to what's some of the equipment that you guys see working, the best? And I know every market's different. So let's give us a little bit of latitude here today. But from skid steers to loaders, what's the evolution? What's some good next steps for guys to maybe think about as they're looking to get more, big time in the snow?
I mean, honestly, the big thing I've seen in the last, I suppose about 5-6 years or more, the compact loaders, they've come a long ways. I mean, guys that market has exploded for the compact loaders. They can you can put a pretty good sized push on them. You can charge the same as a big loader. You don't have quite the cost as a big loader would have. I mean, they've skyrocketed in price in the last 4 years too, though, from what they were. But they're getting up there. But I mean, to be honest, the one thing I would talk about would be the compact loaders. They become huge in this market. Everybody's going to compact loaders, and they can push a ton of snow. I mean, go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to say, so regards to the compact loaders, are you talking about like the Case 321s, like I think Bobcat's got like the 95L or something like that. Don't quote me on all the SKUs, but is that the kind of class you're talking about? Or do you need to get like these huge, 9 series loaders from Cat and all these other big units, or where are you guys at on all that?
No, you can get like the 74 horsepower, pre-def. A lot of these loaders, like the Cat 908s and John Deere 324s, 224s, Case 221, 321s, the Bobcats. Like, I'm not sure on their numbers either, but that's about the size you want to get, because they can push a ton of snow. They got good weight on them, so you can push a lot of snow behind like a 13, 15 foot pusher on them. Like we're running, most of our 908s are running 13 foot pushers or 10 footers. We run a 16 foot Metal Plus on one. So yeah, you can put big pushers on them. They can push a lot of snow. So
yeah,
definitely
that's
game
awesome.
Game changer.
Yeah, because that's where we're kind of at right now. Like, I have 2 industrial drives that I'm looking to, like I said, get some more route density on. Right now, we have a skid that's being delivered, and then we have a sectional that we're taking right now from U.S. Equipment Exchange and the Arctic guys. So we're getting our feet wet into that whole conversation. Super excited about that. I think it's a 10.5. Like an LD 10.5 or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're gonna should have one of these sectionals gliding over a 2 acre site, a half acre site, a 2 acre site, another acre site. That's some pretty good production, and that should be a pretty good little moneymaker for us, and also almost free up a truck and a route, which is exciting. So we're kind of subbing out some of this work, and still, taking care of those guys, paying them top dollar, and still making boatload when it does snow, obviously. What have you guys noticed over the years is your equipment evolution? I mean, you guys have loaders, sidewalk machines. What's working right now for you guys at Glacier?
Well, we got a lot of big lots, so a lot of the big loaders are what we need for some of our big lots to get across them pretty quick. But honestly, we have, I think I just kept on saying compact loaders. I think we have, what do we have? 17 of them are compact loaders, so we're big on the compact loaders as well. Sidewalk machines, we're running, like, most of our sidewalks, we're running a 3000 series John Deere. Because apparently our sidewalks are wider than anybody else's around the country, it seems like, because everybody else has got small sidewalks. We got pretty big sidewalks, so we can get these little larger tractors down them. These John Deere 3046Rs is what we run a lot with a front broom or a blade on them, and also a John Deere 1585s are running them on sidewalks.
Okay.
We're kind of different from most people around there that I've talked to. We get to drive up and down our roads, and so everything leaves our shop. So we don't have stuff sitting at site. So kind of want to get the higher speed stuff to get up and down the road.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. What the conversation with my guy that I'm subbing out for skid work, he's I got a single speed skid steer. So I was like, hey, can you transfer between sites? And we're kind of navigating that conversation. He's like, I didn't get the 2-speed. I got the single speed. It only goes 3 miles an hour. And I'm like, oh man. I was like, crap. I'm like, well, that's a little curveball. So figuring some stuff out. But again, we're making it all work. But that's I've told a lot of folks, and some of you guys listening in, I'm like, was doing the shop tour, and you're like, yeah, we just pay like, a little permit, little fee, and we're able to drive our loaders down the road. And I'm thinking to myself, I'd never even heard that before. Like, that's freaking awesome. I was talking to my buddy Troy Clogg. I'm like, what's the opportunity of doing that around here? And he's like, illegal's a strong word to use, Brian. He goes, I wouldn't say illegal. He goes, maybe frowned upon. So we were laughing about that, and same thing. You get a lot of the guys in the Canada and Alaska. They have the tractor set up so they can go down the road with a blade on the front and a snowblower on the back. Can't necessarily do that in subdivision rural America over here. It's kind of hard in some of the cities in the Midwest. But I know a lot of guys do it, and we're all figuring it out and growing together as an industry. So that's always great. So you got wheel loaders, or compact wheel loaders. You've got sidewalk machines, a lot of great stuff going on there. Let me ask you this, like, in terms of property management, and again, I don't really have like a huge agenda or pecking order list of questions, but these are just ones that I'm going through and dealing with right now. When you're talking to like property management companies and some of these big contracts that are coming on in, what do you see in work out there? Do people want like an all-inclusive provider? They just want one guy to take care of these massive sites? Like, how are you guys positioning yourselves out there to get some of these bigger accounts to keep these bigger pieces of equipment moving?
Honestly, we don't do. I know a lot of guys are, like you say, going with the one-stop shop, and we're not big into the landscaping, mowing, and stuff like that. We're more just snow company.
Okay.
We do a little bit of mowing to get a few of these accounts, but for the most part, we're in a little niche in this town. We're pretty well known. We built a reputation here where we are the best in town. We feel like we're the best in the business around here because that's what we strive to be. So most people want top level service to come to us for the most part. So I mean, that's how we kind of keep our niche and kind of cherry pick what we want for accounts. We only want the high profile accounts. We don't want the accounts that have like 2-inch minimum, stuff like that. We don't do that around here. We like the no tolerance, stuff like that.
It's like the zero tolerance stuff. Yeah.
We like to strive for that. I mean, that's kind of that fits our brand, what we do. So we're the snow contractor. We like to, we don't like somebody telling us, obviously everybody has parameters, but we like to, if it's snowing, we're going. We're not going to wait for a 2-inch marker or whatever to get something done. So.
Yeah, it makes sense. You're not debating what 2 inches looks like, right? It's like if it's snowing, we're going, right? I love that. What have you noticed with maybe taking on some of these sites, or even in talks or negotiations? And I know you have a bunch of different roles there at Glacier, but what's some things that like guys in my boat can stay away from or steer clear of? You get any like crazy stories or crazy requests or anything that you just know is like a red flag, or even any way the contract is set up that we should be paying attention to?
I mean, I would say, like everybody's saying now, the brokers. I mean, I'm not saying all brokers aren't bad, but I mean, if you want to, it sounds like everybody gets these emails of take on this site for, these lowball numbers. Check them out. I mean, don't just say, and if they're giving you a price, like a broker's giving you a price, don't take that first price. That's not the right price to take. I mean, you can negotiate the price you want. And as a small contractor starting out, we started out, with skid and a pickup slope. We started and we just kind of grew, obviously. But if you want to get in the snow game and you just don't, maybe find larger contractors and you can sub to for a few years, kind of get your feet wet, learn the game a little bit, learn the ins and outs. That's what you want to do. But, obviously do your homework on the contractor you're going to work for, make sure they're going to pay you and all that good stuff. So, I mean, that's kind of how I tell guys, if they're starting out, if they don't, to maybe just be a sub for a couple of years and see how everything works, how the ball game is, if that's what they really want to do. And then they can go out, branch out on their own, learn a little bit, just kind of by following somebody's footsteps. And we've had quite a few subs do that, work for us for years and they go on their own. There's no hard feelings. Everybody's, we all know you can make more money on your own than you can subbing. So it's part of the game. So.
What about like
that makes sense?
Yeah, no, 100%. What about sites like retail or Home Depots and Walmarts? Or do you guys do those? You guys stay away from those? I've heard everybody have mixed opinions on all that stuff. I mean, you guys are at that level and beyond, with the sites that you manage. So is that something that is your bread and butter, or is that stuff you guys stay away from? If you don't mind me asking.
No, yeah, we go for all that stuff. Obviously, the price has got to be right and the parameters got to be right. But we'll do the big box stores and stuff like that. I mean, you have to work with some of these like nationals to get some of these. That's what they're going to. But yeah, we're not afraid to work with any type of I guess broker, you want to call them. But if they're not a fit for you, they're not a fit. But,
Yep.
And chains are. We chains are chains. They're just looking for a cheap price and. We're not going to do cheap service. So
Right. Yeah, 100%. It's I was talking back and forth with a guy just the other day, and he's showing me the contract for a Walmart, and I said, I don't think those numbers really add up. And he goes, I'm not really doing anything in the winter. And I said, that's fair. I understand, but also, like, dude, how are you going to tackle this? I'm like, do you have a truck? Do you have a salter? What do you have? He goes, well, I can do bag melt. I get it for this much amount, and I go, bag melt? And he goes, yeah. He goes, I can use like this many bags. And he's trying to run the numbers. And I'm like, bro, I don't know. I'm like, have you done any other sites like, before? And he goes, no, this would be my first one. And he's going to start with a Walmart. And, I'm reading the language in the contract. It's very aggressive, which
liability.
Oh my God. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know if this is exactly the first site that I would suggest that you take up or take on, you know what I mean? And it was just really funny. So I told him, I said, hey, until you get a couple of sites under your belt, I would not start with a Walmart that is more of an ice, window of the country, versus like snow plowing even. I said, God forbid you do get a snow plow even, and you don't have any setup for that, you're going to be in a world of hurt. And a lot of these contracts, I'm sure you guys have seen it, but you're on the hook, good, bad, or ugly, for a lot of different things. And again, I'm not saying that you can't go for them. You just got to read the fine print. And I had a buddy, Jeremy, like if he did not fulfill his obligations, then he was going to get charged back from another contractor, plus all these other penalties. And then he's failure to provide service. So it triggered another part of the contract, which means that he wasn't going to get his previous SnowWorks checks, because it was going to be withheld to go pay the contractor off that they had to hire, like all this wild stuff. And I'm like, I was like, why would you ever sign this? And he's like, I didn't know what I didn't know. So seen and heard some of these horror stories. Thankfully, I haven't stepped on any, mines just yet and blown myself up. Thank God. But yeah, it's a big conversation out there. So I just want people to tread lightly as they go into it. What's some other tips or suggestions that you might have for other folks out there if they're looking to get bigger into snow and tackle some of the bigger stuff and get some of the bigger equipment? Anything that's on the top of your mind?
I'll touch on what you just said. If you're going to sign these contracts, you got to read these contracts with a fine-tooth comb. They got hidden stuff, and they want you to be reliable. They try to put everything on the contractors. So you got to read your contracts. You definitely have to know your worth as a contractor. I would say that's one of our biggest problems. Our industry guys are doing stuff for cheap, and as we all know, the equipment we have and stuff like that, and our liability out there, there's nothing cheap about it. It's very we're very out there, and people are too happy nowadays, as we all know. So you got to know all that. But as far as getting more accounts and big accounts, you just have to go do your due diligence and put yourself out there. Go to these stores, find a store manager, talk to them. In the off season, say, hey, who you got for snow contractor? Are you happy with them? I'm looking to get in. You gotta make these relationships with these store managers or property managers. And you just gotta, it's pretty much, I'm sure it's the same thing with your mowing and stuff like that, right? What you guys do for that.
Yep.
So it's kind of the same thing, just I guess the white season,
Yep. There's a different part of the business, two oars in the water, I always say like lawn season and snow season are two different. They're same business, same people, potentially same equipment, but you got to have a totally different mindset. And it's a whole nother season to sell, a whole nother season to close. And, you're just not entitled to it, because there's a lot of the big guys that, regional and national guys, that want to take on the snow work. And just because you have some machine shop doesn't mean you're going to get the snow. I mean, I literally, we have 3 or 4 different sites that went to different contractors for snow because we were subbing them out, and that company didn't even bid the snow. And they're national companies and then government entities, right? And so we didn't even get that conversation going, because we're subbing out. So not the end of the world, obviously, but it would have been nice to have those 3 or 4 sites, as long as they paid well. So yeah, I can totally relate to that. Well, let me ask you this: what about salting? I know you guys are in Fargo, a lot of wind. I don't know if you guys do as much salting as some of like maybe the Midwest states, but what's your conversation about salting and liquid and bulk salt? Like any suggestions or tips out there for guys that are getting into all of that?
Oh yeah, we do a ton of salting.
yeah.
We salt a lot. So salting is a good money maker. I mean, we could sell all of our loaders. We could just salt. I mean, you're gonna have a lot less overhead. And just lay salt out. I mean, it'd be the way to go. But you gotta do both. Most times you gotta do both. But anyway, yeah, salting. You gotta price your salt right. What your per ton is over there, and what you want to make out of it. I mean, you can make a lot of money. Like I just said, a lot of money salting. You just have to know your prices on your salt. Brines. I don't know if Brine's big out there. Brine's really getting larger throughout the U.S. As far as I'm being told and seen, but I think Brine's the wave of the future. I mean, you use about 2/3 less salt, and you pretty much charge the same as when you're laying salt down. I mean, it's quicker, faster acting. Obviously, when it's wet or if it's going to rain, you can't brine because you're just going to wash it off. But I mean, it's salting is a big money maker. I mean, there's so much money in it. But there's also, salt for us is so expensive to get here. And I don't know I've heard prices out in Michigan there where you're at, where it's pretty cheap for white salt, I think. Isn't that? Aren't you guys pretty reasonable out there?
My seasonal prepay is $85 a ton right now. I think retail's like 105, 110, something like that. I don't know if that's high or low, but yeah.
Yeah, mine's over 200. So, because it's all the trucking and stuff to get it here.
Oh yeah. Wow. Well, liquid makes way more sense then in some regards. Yeah. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I remember talking to Jordan at the Boss booth, and awesome dude, Jordan Smith. A lot of you guys know VSI. And he's like, dude, we got to get you some liquid, get that conversation going. I remember talking to Russ Scott with Ringers. He's got, I think, one of the largest liquid setups in the Midwest that I know of. I mean, dude's got like 4 silos. I mean, it's crazy, these big liquid tanks, whatever you want to call them. So that is changing the conversation for sure. Are you guys doing more exclusively bulk salt or more exclusively liquid at this point, or a little bit of both?
We're doing both, but we're getting more and more into brine. We set another truck up this year. I mean, brine's a great deal. I mean, you got to have the infrastructure set up for it. I mean, all the tanks, stuff like that. So it's a little more
investment.
Yeah, a little more investment for all that. But I mean, if you can slowly, like Jordan always says, start brine. Start a brine program for your sidewalk. So start small and just work your way up. Get a small brine maker, and then get some tanks. And he said, don't jump in, everything all at once. Just kind of work your way into it, which makes a lot of sense. But yeah, we have the infrastructure for, both for bulk and liquid here for what we do in the summer. So we have a good setup for all that. So
love it.
It makes sense to do for us, honestly.
Yeah.
And up here, we have the dry snow, so it definitely. I definitely wanted to see us do more brining than what we're doing. So it's coming. We're doing a lot more this year than we have in the past already. So
for sure. Yeah. When I was at SIMA with all of you guys, first time I ever went to the SIMA show over in Cleveland, I think it was, right, this year, or was it Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh this year. Yeah.
Yeah. It was. I was going to say awesome time, and I sat in the VSI. Liquid, training class and seminar. That was really, really cool. Learned a bunch. I mean, my gosh, I could take notes all day on that stuff. There's a science to it out for sure. So that's all I'm sure in our future and all the different conversations as we continue to take all this back in house. And again, for anybody listening, it's like, this is our first year self-performing all of our salt work. We were actually subbing it out for the last 6-7 years. It's just can only do so much at once with my business and my life and, all these different stuff we got going on. But we put down a couple 100 tons of bulk salt. So I'm excited about bringing that in-house and saving some money, making some money, obviously. So that'll be a really cool conversation. And that's before we even get, a yard one day and can have major bulk delivery, and really wholesale that's not out of that stuff and really make some good margin. I talked to my buddy Matt with Clippers quite a bit about all this, and he's killing it. I know you and Matt talk all the time. Another great dude out there. Actually, let me do this quick little pivot. I want to talk about like the snow communities growing like crazy. A lot of great conversations out there. Well, how long is and give them a little background too, but the Snow Jobs podcast, how long has that been going on for? And if anybody wants to talk more snow, my gosh, you guys got one of the best resources talking about snow in the entire industry.
Oh yeah, definitely. Me and Steve Lardy and myself started a Snow Jobs podcast. Probably it's almost it'll be 2 years in January or February.
That's awesome.
Coming up. So yeah, we're almost at 100 shows, or we're over 100 with our other shows, but 100 main shows. That's coming up pretty quick here. But yeah, it's been pretty good. It's been great. I mean, our industry is fantastic. The guys in our industry. I met some of the best guys I know now. Some of my best friends are all, seem like all my best friends now I have around the East Coast or throughout the Midwest. They're not that,
that's
they're
right.
ways away, but they're all great guys. Everybody's willing to help. I mean, there's a lot of big personalities, and honestly, it's been a lot of fun. I got to do a lot of fun things with the podcast. So yeah, I mean, if anybody wants to check it out, snowjobspodcast.com. It's on all the platforms, and we definitely love snow. We talk it year round. Every week we do a show, so I mean, it's blast.
What? Just get a little teaser for anybody who doesn't know or hasn't listened to the show. What do you guys talk about in the Snow Jobs podcast?
So we mainly we'll have a guest come on from a snow company wherever. We got to be on our website, and they just kind of put in if they want to be on the show, and we just kind of ask them just a few basic questions, and from those basic questions, we just kind of ask them about their companies and stuff like that, and then we just kind of go from there. It's kind of organic where the conversation will go.
Yeah,
pretty fun. Otherwise, we've had Jordan Smith on quite a bit. We have he comes on a lot to do cool shows and talk about special things, about the snow industry or brine stuff or just the industry itself. I mean, we try to bring on, before we go to shows, we'll do like a breakdown of what we want to see at the show or a new equipment talk. We'll have a lot of equipment profiles come out, like Snowpower came on with their new V-Plow.
Oh yeah.
Before that came out and did that. So, I mean, we've got a lot of profiles, company profiles, equipment profiles, I guess I'm trying to say. So yeah, it's a good time. It's definitely fun. A lot of inside. I can't even say the words right. A lot of cool stuff in the business that you get to hear about before it comes out. So
yeah.
I'm really happy with it.
I love it, man. I love it. And I've listened to a couple episodes, admittedly not as many as I should. This winter, I'm going to be playing your guys' podcast. Yeah, no, I listened to like the first like half dozen that you did. And then, dude, I'm in building my house, building my life. Dude, I have not consumed as many podcasts as I wanted to this year. I just haven't been in the field as much too, so practically speaking. But this fall, winter, when I'm plowing snow exclusively, I'm going to be listening and catching up on your guys' show. I've got a solid 70, 80 shows to like backlog on. And I just want to learn more about snow, to be honest with you. So I'm pumped up about catching up with it. Mm-hmm.
I think it's very educational. I mean, I learn a lot from every show from all these guys. So, you just catch little things from what guys are doing here or there. So, I mean, I would say it's pretty educational myself, not just saying because of my show. It's a lot of cool stuff comes out of it. So.
Heck yeah. No, dude, for sure. I just encourage anybody that's out there wants to check it out. The Snow Jobs podcast. Again, I remember when I came over there to Glacier, 2.5 years ago, whatever it would be, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I don't even know. And you're like,
yep.
Do you enjoy podcasting? I go, yeah. I mean, it's fun. You get to, like you said, talk, make friends, do the whole deal, And it wasn't like it's hard or anything, hit start, stop. But at the end of the day, I was like, yeah, you should do it. And then, I don't know if it was me or you just were thinking about doing it anyway, but it didn't take you that long to really put it together to, come out with your guys' own show. So that's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, definitely. It was, definitely listened to your stuff. So we always have we call it a Glacier party call. And when we're out pushing, we're all on a 30, 40 guys on a phone call. I think it's Google Meets we're on, and one of the guys, like, Steve would come on and like, you guys should do a podcast. Like, yeah,
heck yeah,
let's do it. So we just kind of like, we just started and went from there. So it's really blowing up.
I love it. I love it. So some of my best conversations are with my buddies when I'm plowing snow at 3:00 in the morning. We'll have 3-hour calls, dude.
God, yeah.
You know, just
Yep.
and then you hear boop boop boop. 1 second, dude. I hit a mailbox. Okay, I'm back. Now I'll fix that in the morning. And then you're just like, you're just back at it. And 1 second, got to tag up a sidewalk, and then come back on. And all right, man, I'm back. And the next guy's like, I got to hit up my sidewalk. I'm like, all right, cool. And then you're just like literally making friends. Dude, I feel like a 16-year-old girl talking to her, besties at night, But it is it is pretty funny. I've had, like 3-4 hour long conversations with so many dudes, like late night, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And it's awesome, man. When you're snow fighting and you're out there and you're just staying alive with, energy drinks and caffeine and doing the deal, and you're under the wire. It can be stressful. So, sometimes when you can talk to your buddies and take a little bit of pressure off, not the end of the world, obviously. So, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, dude, I'll be honest with you, man. That's all I really got on my short list of conversation. I just want to catch up with you. It's been way too long. Should have had you on the podcast a couple of winters ago, and circle back every fall, winter, of course. But always, kept in touch, and, saw you again at SIMA. It's always cool seeing a couple familiar faces while I was over there. And you get the whole Snow Jobs podcast was super inviting and warm, when you guys had your booth and I came on up, and I was like shocked that people even knew who the hell I was. And that was actually really cool. Like I do totally absolutely look up to all you guys that were running that podcast, and all your buddies and your peers. And a lot of you guys have giant companies, and like I said, we're coming, man. So I'm excited about growing with you guys and catching up to where you guys are all at. So thanks for taking time to be on the show today, man.
Yeah, anytime, Brian. Anytime I'll come on. It's a good time. You're a great guy. I love talking snow, obviously. So yeah, anything you need, just hit me up.
I got you, bro. I got you. Hey, let's do this real quick. We'll sign off. I know we kind of name dropped a couple spots, but where can people find you? Where can people find Glacier? Where can people find the podcast?
On Instagram, TikTok, GlacierSnowManagement.com, just Glacier Snow Management. And my Snow Jobs podcast, same thing on Instagram. And you can find us on iTunes and Spotify for our podcast itself. Just Snow Jobs Podcast.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah. I'll make sure to leave links in the description so you guys can just link right on over there and give them a subscribe or a follow, whatever app you guys are using. And make sure you guys leave them a rating and review, 5-star, give them a couple sentences. If you guys listen to a couple shows and you enjoy it, just help them out a little bit. I know they're still getting their feet wet, figuring out podcasting like we all are, for crying out loud. But, show them some love, show them some support. I know they're at a lot of the big trade shows and conferences. So if you guys see them, the Snow Job guys or Jeremy, he's got his... marquee, black and white check, polo, or flannel, I should say. So it's got the big old, I still got mine in the closet, that you gave me as a gift. So that was really cool. And Yep. 100%. So I was gonna say, I love it, man. I love the support, and anything we can do to help you guys grow as well. And especially keep the snow conversation going so we all get better together. That's really what it's all about, man. So yeah, that's all I got.
Like one more thing, Brian?
Yeah, of course, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're doing this winter. I don't remember at the time we introduced, we're going storm chasing, where we're going to go around 6 different companies.
Oh, yeah. I saw that at the party. What was that? What is all that?
Yep. That's with Storm Equipment, Jordan Smith, and Snow Jobs Podcast. We're kind of joining up together. We're going to go around with a media team, and we're going to, just record a snow event, from before the snow hits, during the snow, and then after, what guys go through. So it's going to be kind of like a documentary, kind of off of Gold Rush or kind of like Bailey's Catch kind of thing. But we're kind of
ice road truckers, one of those things. Yeah.
We're hopefully we're going to put that on YouTube and see how it goes. But yeah, we're going to do like 6 different episodes through 6 different companies throughout the U.S.
Hell yeah,
we got set up for this season. So yeah, we're going to hopefully get some recording started soon, probably next week in Cleveland. The way it's sounding, you guys are going to get hit. So.
I hope so, man. I hope we can get something. Cleveland's like in Buffalo, they're just across the lake. I mean, it can be a world of difference. They can get 30 inches of snow, we get nothing, or we get rain, or who knows. But or vice versa, we both get the same. So that's awesome. Have you guys filmed any of these yet? Are they all coming down the pike?
They're coming down. We haven't filmed yet. We were going to try to do Glacier first, but the way the weather's looking, we're going to probably hit Cleveland. Might be this coming weekend after Thanksgiving. They're talking they can get huge snow there, like they're talking feet.
Wow. Hell yeah. That's awesome. Dude, awesome. Well, where can people find all that? Where's the content going to be available for that? YouTube?
That's going to be, YouTube. That's just going to be on YouTube, Storm Chasing. So we'll definitely get that out there once we get it all
sweet
got and stuff. So I appreciate you. Appreciate the time.
Oh yeah, of course, man. Absolutely. Well, tell everybody at Glacier, hey, kick butt, man. Keep things rocking and rolling, and I'll be back out that way before you know it, doing some shop tours. And I know for sure I'm going to be going back to the Midwest and Minnesota, Wisconsin, Fargo. I need to get back out that way. Canada, there's a bunch of guys I want to see in Canada. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get out there in the next month or two, but definitely by next fall, winter, especially. I know I'm going to make that happen no matter what. If you guys are enjoying all these snow conversations, man, again, make sure you guys give them a follow on YouTube. Make sure you guys give them a follow on the podcast, Snow Jobs Podcast, and go give Glacier a follow and all that fun stuff. And reach out to Jeremy if you guys ever have questions on snow, man. He's your guy and one of the guys I look up to. So, Jeremy, thanks for the time, brother.
Well, thank you, Brian. You're welcome anytime.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, we'll button it up right here. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast. Appreciate you guys listening in, checking in. Don't forget to leave us a 5-star rating and review if you guys are enjoying the show. If you guys need any snow contracts or resources, documents, all that mess, we've got everything at launchpreneuracademy.com. You guys can learn from everything that we have available for our resources. And we just hope to support you guys on your quest to do more commercial and residential snow. So that's what we're buttoning up for today's podcast episode, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll look forward to catching up with you here on the next one.
Ever wonder how to get the best looking lawn on the block? You know, the kind where all the neighbors drive by slowly and stare at your well manicured masterpiece thinking you must be a turf wizard? Yeah, we thought so. At Earthway Products, we have your back with all the right lawn and garden tools that allow you to dominate and win the prize of best looking lawn on the block. We have all types of spreaders that are professional grade, built for accuracy, efficiency, and toughness. Simply said, Earthway products are engineered to last, and we have over 50 patents to prove it. That's our way of saying you can have confidence that our products will get the job done and make your life easier. We also have a fertilizer program that will help you grow a lawn greenskeepers will envy. So whether you're a homeowner, lawn care operator, facilities manager, business owner, or golf course superintendent, Earthway is here to help you make a perfect first impression. Stop by earthway.com and experience the difference. That's earthway.com. Proudly American made in America's heartland, Bristol, Indiana.
You're probably listening to this podcast because you want to get better at the business of lawn care. If you have made the decision to go all in, then the whole ball of wax at LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com is the fastest route to starting strong and putting your company in the best position for success. The whole ball of wax is everything Brian Fullerton offers, with a few exceptions, at less than half the price of purchasing every training course, program, and resource individually. When you purchase the whole ball of wax, not only do you get instant access to everything on the site, along with a one-on-one coaching call with Brian, you get lifetime updates to all courses, and when new programs come online, those are yours for free. Pause the podcast, go to LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com, click on the store tab, or use the link in the podcast description.
If you've been on the fence about grabbing the whole ball of wax at LawnTrepreneur Academy, here's your opportunity. Get $400 off by using the code SAVE400. This bundle is packed with everything Brian wishes he'd known starting out, and tools he still uses today to grow and run the business. If you're looking to level up, now is a great time to check it out. Remember to use code SAVE400 at checkout, and a link is in the description.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.